Hello everyone, my name is Adam Huber. I'm the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Allen County, Kentucky. And welcome to Wildlife Wednesdays. On today's video, we're going to be talking about how to interpret a soil test recommendation for your wildlife food plot whenever considering adding fertilizers to your plots. Now, a lot of y'all may not be farmers and may not be as familiar with what a soil test does, what those recommendations mean, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is determining what fertilizers and how much we need to fulfill the recommendations of our soil test. So the first things that we need to know is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are the three macronutrients that most soils need and that most plants take up the most of, and so that's what what we're trying to determine whenever we're looking at purchasing fertilizers for our food plots. Now, there are micronutrients, cation exchange capacities, organic matters, all that stuff that you will find on a soil test recommendation as well, but we're not going to get into that today. We're going to keep it simple and brief and keep it basic for you all. So, whenever we're looking at a bag of fertilizer, because that's what we're trying to determine, we're going to look at trying to purchase bagged fertilizer for our food plots. Now, whenever we look at a bag of fertilizer, typically they're in 50-pound bags. You usually don't see a 100-pound bag of fertilizer, so they're in 50 pounds. And we need to know that the first number means nitrogen, the second number means phosphorus, and the third number means potassium. Now, when you're looking at those and you see those numbers on there, that is the percentage of fertilizer of each of those materials in that bag. So just say with 10-10, and these are common mixes that you may see at a local farm store. I've gotten 3 of them wrote down here, and you may see many more different ones than these, but these are some common ones. It's 10-10, 19-19, and 7-20-20. And that's what we're going to be working with today, is these 3. And so in 10-10, you're going to have 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, 10% potassium. That also means how many pounds are in each of those whenever you're talking about 100 pounds. So if we have 100 pounds, 2 bags of 10-10, we have 10 pounds, 10 pounds, and 10 pounds. Now if we're talking about a 50-pound bag, which would be 1 bag, we actually only have 5 pounds, 5 pounds, and 5 pounds of each of those ingredients. Same goes with these others. So in 1 bag of 19-19, which is 50 pounds, you'd have 9.5, 9.5, and 9.5 in 50 pounds. Now when you go to 100 pounds, you would have 19, 19, and 19 pounds of each of those ingredients. And that also means that's that's the percent of each of those ingredients in the 100 pounds. Same goes for the 7-20-20. Now, what we're going to try to figure out is, I've got a soil test recommendation here, NP&K. This is per acre. This is what our soil test calls for per acre of each of these ingredients. And we're going to go through each of these and figure out how many pounds we need, or how many bags we need of each of these fertilizers to meet our recommendation here. So, whenever we're talking about 10-10, if we're going to use 10-10 to fulfill our 100, 100, 100 soil test recommendation, what we're going to do is, we know that in 1 50-pound bag, there's 5 pounds of each of those. And to get to our soil test recommendation poundage, we would need to do, we're looking to get to 100 pounds, so we're going to do 100 divided by 5, which would be in 1 bag. 100 divided by 5 would be 20. So we would need 20 total 50-pound bags to meet the recommendation of 100, 100, 100. That's what we would need. We need 20 bags of 19-19, or we would need 20 bags of 10-10 to meet these recommendations. Now, 19-19, we would do the same thing. We would do 100. We're looking to get to 100 pounds of each. So we would do 100 divided by 9.5, because there's 9.5 pounds in 1 50-pound bag, and that would equal out to 10.5. So we would need 10.5 bags of triple 19 to meet these requirements, but you can't get half of a bag, so I'll just round that up and get 11 bags of triple 19. So now we're going to talk about 7-20-20. Now I'm going to change my soil test recommendation. And we're going to change this to 0-60-60. 0-60-60. Now we're talking about 7-20-20. So now our soil test recommendation calls for 0 pounds of nitrogen, but we need 60 of each phosphorus and potassium. Now we're looking at 7-20-20, and it does have nitrogen in it, but adding a little nitrogen isn't going to be the end of the world whenever you're talking about doing this, because in reality, once you add the proper ingredients, you're only adding just a few pounds of the nitrogen, and so that's what we're going to determine is, okay, so in 100 pounds of 7-20-20, we know that 20 pounds is phosphorus and 20 pounds is potassium, and then of course 7 pounds is nitrogen. So you can either do it, there's a couple ways that you can do this, just like up here. You could do 60 divided by 10 for both of those, which would be 6 bags of 7-20-20, or you can do 60 divided by 20, which is 300 pounds, and then you just double that to know, and then you would know that you just need six bags of the 7-20-20. So to clarify, to make it easy, you would do 10, you do 60 divided by 10 to get 6 bags, and then you're going to have 21 pounds. You're going to have 21 pounds of nitrogen that you don't necessarily have to have, but it's not going to hurt to have it. Again, that's what you're going to need to know whenever you're going to buy these pre-mixed fertilizers is what those numbers mean and what those ingredients are. And this down here is a material list of what they do, what they use to get some of your common pre-mixed fertilizers. And like I said, you can go to your farm store, take your soil test with you, and get a special blended mix for your soil test to apply. And you're going to have to, of course, you'll have to buy that in bulk. You're not going to get that in bags, which typically if you've got a smaller food plot, a half acre all the way up to a couple of acres, typically going the bagged route is going to be much easier. So to go over the material list here, you've got urea, which is 46% nitrogen, 0% phosphorus and potassium, and so in 100 pounds of this you'd have 46 pounds of nitrogen. You have ammonium nitrate, which would be 34% nitrogen, 0 of phosphorus and potassium. You have diammonium phosphate, which would be 18-46-0, so 18% nitrogen, 46% phosphorus, 0% potassium. And then you do have potash, which would be 0-0-60, no nitrogen and phosphorus, but you have 60% of potassium. And so I hope that clarifies some things for you. That's the whole point of today's video. I hope I didn't confuse you even more, because this stuff is kind of confusing. If you're not around this a whole lot, it definitely can be confusing. But as long as you know that when you're looking at bag fertilizer, that you have nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, your first, second, and third numbers, and that you know that in 50 pounds of that bag, you would divide this number by 2 to get your actual poundage. Or if you're more of a percentage type person, you would know that 10% of that bag it would be nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, depending on what other fertilizers you're looking at. So just remember that. Remember your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and remember what those numbers are, and then you should be good to go, and it'll definitely help you in determining what you're going to need for your fertilizers for your food plot. Again, my name is Adam Huber, University of Kentucky, Cooperative Extension Agent for Agriculture, Natural Resources in Allen County, Kentucky. You can contact me at 270-237-3146 at the Allen County Cooperative Extension Service if you have any questions. I'll be glad to help you. Thank you guys, and have a great day.